I was actually kind of like so shocked that it's kind of like possible to create such a like high level of craft, and it's such a short amount of time as well. It's like, it's crazy.
This is one of the coolest apps I've seen come out of Glaze. Daniela shared me a calendar on Twitter a couple of days ago, and I immediately had to go and try it for myself. It's a playful, really well designed, free-form calendar that lets you draw on it and add picture stamps to each day. I invited Daniela to have a chat with me, and she had some really nice insights about how to make the best out of Glaze. So let's hear from her. So you built this really cool app with Glaze called Mia Calendar. And I feel like there's a bit of a story behind it. So why don't you tell us a little bit, where did this idea come from?
A few years ago, I posted this idea on Twitter about like a free-form calendar that would behave like essentially like a canvas, but you're also going to be able to like to see this like a calendar, to leave some notes, maybe like leave some stickers, stuff like that, right? But I wasn't really able to build this in a way like how I was intended this to build. So I tried a couple of times to build like a native macOS app, but obviously it's really hard to do. And I tried to build this with Glaze, and I was kind of surprised that like in a couple of days I got like a pretty nice prototype. And then I spent like most of time like just to polish this particular interface. But I'm pretty happy with this result.
How was the experience of building that with Glaze, and is that a process that you enjoyed?
So I'm actually still using Figma quite a lot to just kind of like quickly draft some of my ideas. So I do have like this old design, and like originally I reused like a lot of stuff from this design from here, and you could obviously see this, I guess, like especially some of those like perforation elements, right? And I kind of like wanted to keep this playful, and I wanted to keep like this design a little bit like nice and interesting, I guess. And I wanted like to make this like as cozy as possible. I was also like trying to inspire like this, like from this poster that I also like did like a couple of years ago. I started from like drawing on some screenshots, and you can see that here I was kind of like trying to do some experiments with some stickers, and also like drawing like literally on a screenshot.
So I see that you're mainly using visual references. So what's your way of building with Glaze, by basically taking some of these images and then attaching them to the Glaze agent?
Yeah, exactly. And I think I was also kind of like trying to replicate this feeling of like the actual like real calendar, right? And I think it's really tricky because it's really hard to find this design like somewhere on Pinterest or maybe like on Cosmos, right? So I have like a huge collection of different calendars, especially Japanese calendars, right? And I think it's like my main vein of inspiration, actually. And like this is like from Alex's notes. I was like literally taking pictures of how like he was doing like his like calendar management as well. And it was also kind of like quite helpful for me, I guess.
And that's really cool, because it's true, like in a physical calendar, you can draw anywhere you want, right? You can draw something that spans across multiple events. You can paste like even a stamp or a little image of something that happened that day. So I think that's what makes Mia Calendar so personal and so fun. I would love it for you to, just show us how you've been using this and how do you plan on keep using it.
So the idea is that, let's say that you have like a lot of different images and you just want to like attach them to like a specific date, right? And you can do this in bulk just by putting them right on a calendar. And essentially what it's going to do, you could see that WWDC was happening like on 8th July, right? So I was kind of like taking some pictures during the live presentation, and you could see that it's basically just like attach the date from the photo to a specific date. And if you have like a lot of images, it's like essentially like the perfect thing for you, I guess, because it's like really hard to do this manually, I guess. And if you're also like not happy with a particular date here, you could also just change this by moving the position, and it's also going to work.
I love how you can just bulk drag and drop, and then they just go on the day that they were taken on. That's super cool.
I actually kind of prefer this particular view, just because it's kind of like making images a little bit more interesting, I guess. And I could do this all day, really.
What about this toolbar at the bottom then? I see there is like a pencil and a marker.
Oh yeah, I actually like spent quite a lot of time like doing this. I actually reused some of the experiments that Steve Reese was doing with like a perfect hand GitHub. It's like it's really great. You can see that this is like the pencil of from Steve Reese GitHub, and it's great. Really, it's like my favorite GitHub project, I guess.
Really good work. And man, I'm surprised like how close that looks to the Figma designs that you made, like the perforations, the typography. It's pretty cool, man. It really blew my mind.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. I was actually kind of like using SVG images like directly like in a chat to kind of like replicate this design as much as possible.
Do you have any tips about things that you did that might be helpful for other creators to know when it comes to building with Glaze?
Yeah, I think that my main tip is just like collaborating with people, like with some different people who's also like using Glaze right now, if it makes sense. I don't know. I mean, like, I feel that I was struggling quite a lot with EventKit, right? Because it was like really hard for me to connect like the actual real calendar from my calendar, right? And I was kind of like trying to resolve this on my own, and then I kind of realized that like I probably need to ask some questions, and you were like really helpful, and like the only reason why we have like this calendar here is just like, because I asked you this question, and it's probably like the best way to build anything, just like ask question like to community and just kind of like trying to collaborate with different people. I think it's like probably the best way to do it.
So this was Mia Calendar by Daniela, and she did all of that without writing a single line of code. So if you also want to create your own apps, then check out glaze.app.